My name is Shayla, and today I have a guest. This is April from over at April Sarah. You guys hear me talk about her all the time, but we're usually not in the same room. So, anyways, that's that. You can tell I'm tired, so I'm sorry if my voice sounds different. That's why. We are at BookNet Fest in Florida. Technically, the event is over. This is Sunday, but we really wanted to make sure that we got in the same room and collabed together and kind of showed up on each other's channels because we talk about each other so much. So, if you want April's video, we did a video for April's channel, so she will be linked down below. So make sure you go and check her out. If you're not subbed to her, shame on you. I've been talking about her for 4 years now. It's just time, people. So, anyways, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take some manga that I know April's read, because she does read a little bit of manga on her channel. Not as extensively as I do, but I know she's read some, and ask her for book recommendations for those manga. I might throw in one or two and just kind of give descriptions that she doesn't know to give you some really fun recommendations. So, anyways, let's go ahead and dig right into this. So I think the first one that I want you to give a recommendation for would be Wake Up Sleeping Beauty. You love paranormal and ghosty things.
I do. And
Wake Up Sleeping Beauty has that really sweet element. You can go darker. That's totally allowed because I know I don't do dark, but a lot of my viewers do. So a recommendation on par with the paranormal side of Wake Up Sleeping Beauty.
Okay. So where am I going to go with this one?
You can give multiple. That is allowed.
Right. Elizabeth Chandler, she does a whole Dark Secret series.
Okay.
That deals a lot with different kinds of paranormal. Sometimes it's past life. Sometimes it's different kinds of telekinesis and things like that. And I think for Wake Up Sleeping Beauty, she has one of the books in the series, which is one of my favorites, and I'm trying to remember what the name of it. Totally gone now. I'm gonna look it up because
that's totally allowed.
I'm just that kind of person right now.
We're both tired. We're good.
But it deals with this girl who, over the summer, she's in a different location, and she starts remembering things about this house that she's staying in, and it starts to pull a little bit of the past in. But I think just for the supernatural feel that I got while I read Wake Up Sleeping Beauty, it feels kind of similar to me.
Nice.
It's legacy of lies.
Okay. We were way off.
Yeah, well, because like I said, that series, she's got a whole bunch of them in that series.
Mm-hmm.
And Don't Tell is another one that would probably fall right into that. It's got more of a theater element to it than the past life element to it. But both of them would probably fall into that.
Very nice. The next one, I think you know what I'm going to ask for a book recommendation for, and that would be Ancient Magus Bride. She's currently binging Ancient Magus Bride.
So for me, that is all about those two characters learning how to grow together and be together, and what feelings and emotions all of that means, and becoming more of who they are. Okay. Sometimes it's like, I've read so many things. It's like,
I know, that's where I was at in the reverse video.
I think it's called Neverland by...
where it has the cute, peachy cover and she's got a suitcase. Yeah, it's called Neverland.
Is it? Okay, and I'm trying to remember who it's by. I'm horrible with authors.
I think we all get that point where it's like, I don't remember who wrote it, but it's amazing.
Sherry Arnold.
There we go.
And it's about this young girl. She has to deal with some very tragic things in her past, and she ends up meeting this boy, and together they're kind of discovering a few things about themselves and growing in that way. And it's got a little bit of that magical element, and
a little bit of that Peter Pan element.
I mean, it leans more contemporary than it does to the supernatural realm, but it's still got that same kind of character development that I think matches the Ancient Magus Bride.
I would agree with that. Let's see. I'm trying to remember the ones that I know you've read. Okay, a classic here. Sailor Moon.
Yeah, and
Give me a book recommendation for Sailor Moon.
And I don't want to go like too straight out obvious with this one.
Yeah.
But this was inspired by Sailor Moon, so I can't like not mention that. And that's the Lunar Chronicles.
Oh, that's so true. I forget that it was inspired by that.
Yeah. So the Lunar Chronicles. I mean, it takes the whole Sailor Moon story arc kind of, and it switches it up into fairy tale aspect, which I really like as well.
You know, I never put that together when I was reading Sailor Moon when I did my reaction blog, but that totally makes sense in my brain now that you say that.
I mean, you've got a moon princess who is discovering who she is, and then
while it's on Earth.
And then this ragtag team that starts to form around her and all that. It's kind of funny though, because she switches it up in a way that it's its own entity.
For sure, but the elements are definitely there.
And her favorite character, I believe, Marissa Meyer's favorite character in the whole Sailor Moon saga is actually Jupiter. Yeah, so you have
that makes sense to me. With how she wrote things.
So that explains how some of the personality traits lean more towards that direction.
Oh yeah, completely.
Than some of the airheadedness that came.
I was gonna say the closest one to Usagi would probably be Cress.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
But Cress is like not afraid of her intelligence like Usagi seems to be.
Right.
So
yeah.
she did improve upon the character that way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that makes so much sense to me. I didn't know that.
Yeah. No,
I learned something new today.
Yeah, well, because see, after I started reading it and I was picking up all of these elements, I started actually stalking Marissa Meyer, and she
you
was
found that out
about all of these things, and I'm like, oh, I
get it. That
I
makes
can
sense.
See that.
Okay, one that's super popular. You may not have read it yet, but I'm going to ask for a recommendation for My Hero Academia, where it's about kids, high school age, who have superpowers. In this world, 80% of the people have superpowers. Or, no, sorry, like 20%. I don't remember the percentage, but only certain people have superpowers, and so they use that to be, like, go into law enforcement and, like, keep the world safe. And we follow this young boy named Midoriya who does not have powers. And he wants to be All Might, who is like the biggest, loudest cartoon hero style superhero that you've ever seen. And he's all about strength and things like that. And what happens is Midoriya encounters All Might through a fight with one of the villains because his friend was like caught up by the villain. So even though he doesn't have powers, he runs in and tries to save him. And All Might sees this. And he comes up to Midoriya and says, I can give you powers. And so he shares his power with him because it's a specific power that you can only share with other people. And so he actually gives his power. It drains him of his power, but he gives it to Midoriya. So it's all about Midoriya learning to control this power and gain in strength and attend UA, which is like the biggest, most prestigious high school for supers.
Okay. So do you want a recommendation more leaning towards like the school aspect of it, or like the superpower?
I would do one of each.
Okay, because leaning, you're gonna laugh when I give this one. But leaning more towards like this boy who isn't necessarily gifted in superpowers but wants to play in that world kind of aspect, I would have to go with The Reckoners.
Oh,
by Brandon Sanderson.
Honestly, I thought of The Reckoners. I'm like, what's a manga that puts that? I'm like, oh my gosh, it's My Hero.
I think those two, they pair together really, really well.
Completely, yeah.
Right. For the school aspect and all of the powers and maybe learning to protect the world kind of aspect, this is probably going to be a little bit more of a stretch, and it's going to lean probably more towards like the female readership because it's got more female main characters, and that is the Great and Terrible Beauty series, because it is essentially it's not necessarily a school about learning powers and all that kind of stuff, but it is a school where these group of girls, they start to explore this this power that they're starting to pick up on, and it has a play of, especially if you continue on in the series, because it plays into the Lair of Dreams series as well. So it has this aspect of we're discovering these powers in this new world, but we need to start thinking about how that's interacting with the world we're coming from.
Interesting.
And how those powers are starting to get that protectory aspect to it.
Okay. I think I've done 4 so far. Right?
Yes.
That feels right?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do one more because we did 5 in hers, so we'll do 5 in this one. Let's see. Which one? I'm going to do Death Note. Have you read or heard of Death Note?
I have watched the manga. I've watched the manga.
You've
I've watched
watched
the
the
anime.
anime.
I started the anime when I was probably in college, and I couldn't get very far into it.
Uh-huh.
And then I've seen the horrendous movie.
You watched that awful movie?
I did. And I have I've read the first volume of the manga.
Okay. So you know how it ends.
Yes, I do.
Okay, so yes. Give people a book recommendation in that sort of like thriller, darker, psychological thing. Because I know you read more of that than I do.
Right. Okay, so
So Death Gods would be great if you can
right,
deal with those.
and I'm trying to pull in those aspects because that there's like a lot of mental control and
Manipulation and stuff.
that goes on in that series, which I think is what really makes that dark. Not necessarily the fact that you're killing off people.
Right, it's more that cat and
How
mouse game.
Right,
that
and
they
how that
play.
starts to affect psychology.
Mm-hmm.
This one's hard.
Welcome to What You Did to Me.
Right? Right? I knew I was going to get payback for that.
I know.
Oh. Because I'm trying to think more along. Okay, this is going to sound really weird. But I believe it's the Nevernight series by Jay Kristoff.
Okay.
I mean, it's basically about an assassin. I mean, she ends up, she gets into this like whole. I don't want to spoil a lot of it, but
right.
there is training and brotherhood and all of that and assignments and things, and she's sent out into the world for specific reasons, but she's got her own agenda as well.
Right.
But she also has to deal mentally with all of. I mean, she goes into this very willing,
right,
to take lives and to start to control and manipulate in that way, and it is definitely a very. It's not YA.
No. That's adult for sure.
This is very much on the thriller, horror, gory, messy aspect of humans and what we can do to each other.
Right.
And then there's this supernatural twist where you get to see some of the. I can't do it without spoiling a lot of things.
Right, and I haven't read it, so
there's a lot of characters who pull into that aspect as well. So I think those match really, really well.
I think those were good recommendations. So
I tried.
Thank you again, April, for like even wanting to like do this trip and like do all the things, because we've basically just been hanging out all weekend and it's been great. We did Harry Potter World and then the event and then today, and it's just been so fun. And I just love that we both finally got to do this. We've been wanting to do it for years, and we finally were able to find a place and a time to make it happen. So thanks for coming on the channel.
Of course.
And as you guys know, all the recommendations as well as April's channel are linked down below. So definitely go and check them out. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Yes! I had answers.
Woo!